Hey everybody, it's T here, and we're gonna do another video on Blaha Bro, the gym lifting recruiting fitness gear sleeve. We're gonna do a reaction video this morning to JasonBlaha. Blaha says the carnivore diet is an ideology based on anti-science and strange dogma. He's making this stuff up, man. There's no such thing. He's crazy, man. Whatever. Everybody's a carnivore because everybody eats meat in the world.
And most rapid growing nutrition cult I've ever seen in my life. And the ironic part is like tons of them say, no, people have been doing this for decades. You'll get some.
People have been doing this for decades. What are you talking about? We've been doing it forever. We've been eating meat forever. Any restaurant you go to, any buffet, what your parents were making at home, meat. What you been eating? Meat. You're carnivore, bro. Get it? Anything else that you've been doing called farming, which is obviously artificial. Farming is artificial because it doesn't exist out in nature. So there you go. There's the proof. So what have we been doing? Hunting and eating animals. So I don't know what Blaha's talking about. Walmart doesn't exist in nature, Blaha. What planet are you on?
They've been doing it for 30 years, and it's like, guys, this concept.
They've been doing it for 30 years? We've been doing it forever.
10 years old. Like, we already know which influencers and doctors and stuff started the entire idea and it evolved from.
Listen, man, we've been doing that forever. But farming is something new. Get it, bro? You see what planet Blaha's on, man?
I promise you, you haven't been doing it for 30 years. Nobody believes you. So, again, it's guys like Sean Baker completely started this entire thing.
Okay, think about it. What have we been doing before we started farming? What did we do before we started farming vegetables and fruits? What did we do before that? And processing, like making bread. What did we do before that? What did we do before that? We hunted. We hunted animals, that's right.
And the whole concept of it is ludicrous. They should just call it fear of vegetables, right? Because it's not carnivore. In other words, their diet's looking
I love this one. Fear of vegetables. That's not our... That's not really part of our diet. It's something we're doing. We're not supposed to, but we're doing it anyway.
Something like a carnivore diet.
It's a
and people need
business.
to understand you can't survive on a carnivore diet. You're not an obligate carnivore.
You can't survive on a carnivore diet. Hold on. People need to understand what?
You can't survive on a carnivore diet. You're not an obligate carnivore.
People can't survive on a carnivore diet? Holy fuck, man. We've been surviving for hundreds of thousands of years on a carnivore diet. And all of a sudden we're farming, which is artificial. And according to Blaha, we cannot survive on a carnivore diet. What, man? This guy is absolutely out to lunch.
Keeping in mind, I am saying this as someone who is one, extremely pro-dairy, extremely pro-animal protein. So just an FYI.
Pro-dairy, pro-animal protein. Well, I'm not really into dairy, but yeah, I mean, milk, there's milk, but I'm not into like cottage cheese and sour cream and all these weird things, but whatever. Meat, bro, that's amazing.
When you make these videos, people jump up and call you a vegan. I'm like, I eat 300 grams of animal protein a day.
Yeah, vegan doesn't exist. That's something fake too, just like farming. It's fake.
Clearly not a very good vegan. I think vegans are...
Even what he's doing here, these weights and weightlifting, he's acting. You're really acting, really. The truth is, you're really acting. He's acting because it doesn't exist in nature. Listen, man, weightlifting doesn't exist in nature. Bodybuilding, weightlifting, whatever, doesn't exist in nature. It's something we create.
The only people as crazy or close to as crazy as the carnivores. Although they're...
Of course, if your muscles get damaged out in nature, if you do something, right, and you get this damage, of course, you're going to go through repair and remodeling. I mean, these are just natural processes, but we're trying to induce something. We're trying to induce something unnaturally, get it, by using these weights. This is an unnatural process.
Probably a step down. So that being said, the idea is ludicrous. But
The idea is ludicrous, just as ludicrous as Blaha injecting strength, called TRT, steroids, in his butt to lift a heavy weight. You understand, man, how artificial the world is these days?
when you look at it, it's like why they're calling it carnivore, I don't know. Like true carnivore animals.
Why do they call it carnivore? Because it means they've eliminated all the fake farming. Get it? They've eliminated farming. You understand me, Blaha? Vegetables and fruit and whatever, and processed foods from those farmed foods. That's why they call it carnivore, because they've eliminated it. Yeah.
Produce their own ascorbic acid, vitamin C. Humans are not capable of doing this, therefore you're not even biologically close to being a carnivore.
What are you talking about? We're not biologically close to being a carnivore. We have a very acidic environment in our stomach, just like these scavengers that run around the planet. So I don't know really what Blaha's trying to say here. What is it? What exactly is Blaha trying to convince you? What is he trying to convince you that you are not a carnivore, you cannot survive on carnivore diet? Well, I'm surviving because I don't eat any fruits or vegetables or any processed food whatsoever. In all my videos that you see in my buffet,
Just stop.
sorry, I got blinked out there. So in all my videos that you see, my buffet videos, all my food videos as of recent, is all carnivore. You understand me? I don't eat any fruits or vegetables, bro. So I don't know what Blaha's talking about. See what I mean? It's ridiculous. You're not going to die because you're eating a carnivore diet. Nobody's ever died eating just meat. Okay? Nobody. Want to know why? Because it's not deficient in any nutrients. That's why you're not going to die. But if you eat a vegan diet and you do not eat meat, you will die. You will die. Yes. You will die of scurvy or whatever, of a deficiency in nutrients, and so you will die slowly. It's a very slow and painful death.
Okay. Number two, they all eat tons of refined food. It's not like they're standing around eating meat. Okay. Also, by the way, true carnivores eat plants in the
Yeah, I'm standing around and I'm eating meat, Blaha. How come I haven't died yet? It's been more than what? I don't know. It's been more than 2.5 years where I haven't eaten any processed food or any vegetables or fruits. So 2 years and a half, 2 years and a half now. So how come I haven't croaked and died? Hey, Blaha? If anything, I'm doing better than ever. My athletic abilities, they have come back so fast. It's incredible.
Well, so being afraid of vegetables, again, doesn't even match the carnivore concept.
I'm not afraid of vegetables. I just don't see the point, because in an older body, your progenitor cells, they don't work the same like they did when you were younger. See what I mean? If you damage yourself right now in any way, you will cripple yourself. Believe me, you will cripple yourself. You'll get something, they call it fibrotic. It'll be in a perpetual state of fibrosis. So if you damage your ankle, your knee, or something really bad, and you cripple yourself, where do you think the word cripple comes from? Look at Ronnie Coleman. Why isn't his body regenerating like a young body? Why can't he just run around? He did a surgery, did whatever. Why doesn't it just like repair itself and him running around? Want to know why? Because he's crippled. You understand me? So as an old person, if you damage yourself in any way, you will cripple yourself. You'll be like Ronnie Coleman. You don't want that in perpetual state of fibrosis. Your injuries become fibrotic the older you get, because your progenitor cells, they age too, apparently. They don't work so good. So the whole process is you now have to try to get better. See what I mean? Look, I'm an older person pushing 60. I'm not a young person anymore. Like, when I was younger, how things worked. My whole adage now is I want to regenerate. That's totally different. I don't need to show off or lift a heavy weight or do anything. I want to regenerate my body. so it stays younger and better and stronger, and I have athletic abilities. I don't want to be the person running around and show off that I could lift the heaviest weight concentrically. Want to know why? Want to know why I don't want to do that? Because I'll lose my athletic abilities. I did that. I did that before COVID, and guess what? It taught me a big lesson. Don't do that. That's what it taught me, okay? So I prefer to regenerate my body. I prefer to be athletic. I prefer to be healthy, strong. I don't want to be crippled. I don't want to be injured. I don't want to be fibrotic. I don't want to be any of those fucking things, man. Get it? I just want to keep getting better. But if you eat fruits and vegetables as an older person, they'll make you worse. They'll make you worse. But if you eat meat, which is natural to humans, it'll make you better. And it'll keep making you better. That's the whole point.
So again, just pointing out that this is not a carnivore diet. And they're like, well, we just mean animal products, including highly refined animal products, because they eat tons of highly refined stuff. And they eat the stuff that's actually been shown to be the worst in studies. Okay, that's what's interesting. It's like, number one, lions don't have the ability to cure bacon. Just an FYI. Number two.
Well, because those animals are domesticated animals, and you're not supposed to be eating pork and chicken. They're the worst.
Lions don't milk animals and then churn the butter and separate the cream. Like, lions and bears don't have the ability to do this. This has never been a carnivore thing. In fact, dairy usually requires agriculture. You have to have actual pasture.
Man, I don't eat any butter. I have butter. I haven't really used it in a while because I don't really cook too much. But yeah, recently, even if I put the meat, I have a skillet for the meat and stuff. If I have to cook, like just the surface area, I would cook the surface area. That's about it. Just in case there was any bacteria lingering around on the meat. But to tell you the truth, I don't even think I'm gonna get sick at all from that. I haven't really gotten sick at all eating it raw. So I don't know.
Grazing to raise the dairy animals, and then you milk them, and so on and so forth. Just an FYI, these people see.
Then again, you never know, right? These animals you're eating today, I mean, yeah, they're domesticated animals. Can they make you sick? Well, they're kind of sick animals, aren't they? They're injecting them with all kinds of shit, antibiotics, whatever. Why? Wild animals in nature, they don't need any of that. That's why they're so healthy. They're healthier animals. So you're eating a healthy animal, and then you're eating an animal that needs to be inoculated. These domesticated animals. It's crazy.
Have lost sight of some of this, but that's okay. That's actually agricultural, right? Dairy is agricultural, and I'm very pro-dairy.
Agricultural doesn't exist in nature. Again.
By the way, just an FYI, I think dairy is amazing, absolutely amazing. In the right forms until you start refining certain ways into butter and stuff. But here's the thing: these people, they ignore research.
I don't know what his obsession is with butter. Then he says dairy is a good thing, so he likes yogurt. Yogurt is unnatural, Blaha. But you see Blaha in all his fucking stupid videos. Remember his videos during COVID? He was eating yogurt. He was eating tons and tons of yogurt. Yogurt is unnatural. It's putrid. It's bad for you. It's garbage. It's bad. Don't eat any fucking yogurt. Blaha's nuts.
And then they really feel like what they're doing is evidence-based, and it's like, okay, so realistically, when you look at a lot of the foods they choose to throw in that are animal foods,
realistically, you wanna drink raw milk and eat raw animal products and all their organs.
Early pick the stuff. So it's almost like an anti-science approach, right? It's an anti-science approach. They literally pick the foods that have been shown to be the absolute worst for your health out of the animal foods, right?
Well, yeah, because they don't want to promote healthy diets, Blaha. You understand me? Why would they pick the most healthiest parts of any animal and do a scientific report on it? They're not paid to do that. They were paid to promote something that's really bad, to pretend or promote that meat is bad for you, so you could keep eating these fake foods.
Obsess over them. It's really interesting. What do I mean? Butter and refined red meats. Like, this is the stuff that the research generally agrees is horrific for you. Notice these are both refined foods. Again, bacon, processed meat, things like that, they're refined. They're refined. The research shows they're carcinogenic, right? They cause colon cancer. They cause all sorts of cancers of the GI.
Hold on, they're carcinogenic. What makes them carcinogenic? Blaha's really out to lunch. He's like, they're carcinogenic, but what makes them carcinogenic? He doesn't even tell you. They are not carcinogenic on their own. He's lying.
Tract. They're colon cancer. They cause all sorts of cancers of the GI tract. They're terrible for you. And again,
what are you talking about? They don't cause any of those things in your GI tract. You said carcinogenic, but what would cause it to be carcinogenic? So it's the carcinogens that are causing that in your GI tract. So it's not the meat itself. Christ.
It's not because they're meat, it's because they're a highly processed food with all these preservatives in them, like bacon.
Okay, there you go. So they're highly processed. Okay, so what's in there? Nitrates. Where do the nitrates come from? Plants, because they're nasty.
Sausage, all this stuff. Yet you see these same people promoting this, like, oh, because it's a high-fat animal product. You know, again, high-fat animals don't really exist in the wild. It's not really a thing for carnivores outside of the Arctic. The same thing.
Man, these chemicals that they put on these foods, they're not made from meat. Obviously, they're made from plants, because plants are nasty. And so, because they're toxic. And so they take these plants, and they take them, they grind them down, and they throw them, these chemicals are made from plants, and they throw them on the meat. Think about that for a second. So what's really making you sick? The meat or the plants?
Butter. You look at all the studies on butter. Milk is actually perfectly fine.
What about butter? Butter is not processed. It's not, sorry. It's not, there's no nitrates on it. They didn't put any plant chemicals in it, Blaha. It's made purely from animal fat. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm very pro-milk, and a lot of people aren't aware of that. Most studies show that milk, like whole milk, doesn't usually negatively affect your lipid profile, even if you drink large amounts.
Yes, it does. If it's pasteurized milk, they add back these vitamins and things. They add them. They're synthetic. The vitamin D and stuff, the stuff that they put back in there, it's synthetic, bro. And all the good bacteria have been destroyed. And it's a known fact that processed milk is not good for you. Yeah, it's actually bad for you.
Really?
Why is that? Why is it bad for you? Because it's been pasteurized. That's why. It's a natural process.
Not a problem. It's not a problem.
Whatever.
Butter does. And when it's been compared study for study, side by side, butter, when the same amount of fat calories from butter is compared to whole milk, the difference in the blood work in the test subjects is...
But there's no additives and preservatives and all that shit in butter, Blaha. You understand me? The process is natural.
massive. Much higher inflammatory markers, much higher.
You're just churning. It's the process is natural.
LDL, much higher risk of atherosclerosis.
No, you don't.
So it's not because it's dairy, it's because it's this refined product. And people say, it's not refined, it's just churned. That is a refinement. You are creating something that doesn't exist in nature. There's nothing to do with milk. Even skimming the cream off, you lose all the benefits of milk. Milk is a superfood. Right? Milk is a superfood.
Yeah, milk is a superfood when it's in its natural state, but you're drinking unnatural milk, Blaha.
Superfood. Due to all the protein, magnesium, calcium, B12.
I do know in science it says that milk actually suppresses myostatin, which myostatin is presumably responsible for aging because of this ROS. But protein powders, they actually increase myostatin. Yeah, this is the opposite.
Amazing, absolutely amazing food for muscle growth, body composition, hydration. All of that's being removed. As soon as you skim the cream off, you're leaving all that stuff behind. So then they take the cream and they emulsify it. They churn it and it changes the molecular structure. Doesn't matter that it's an older form of technology, it's still an extreme process that molecularly changes the butter after you've taken all the good stuff out. So when you look at the data, it's horrific. And then people say, well, it's got all these vitamins and minerals. No, it doesn't got vitamin A. There's not enough. If the only source you had of all these things these carnivores claim is in butter, vitamin E, vitamin D, vitamin K. If butter was the only source you had of it in your diet, you would quickly develop a dietary deficiency.
It's not the only source, but you tend to I tend to gravitate. I need more saturated fat in my diet, so I start gravitating towards these things.
2,000, 3,000 calories of butter a day isn't enough to supply them, but it'll probably give you diarrhea. Okay, this is insane.
Hasn't given me any diarrhea. I've not gotten diarrhea at all. I don't know what Blaha's talking about. I haven't gotten anything. No bloatness, no farting, no diarrhea, no nothing. Eating these animal products. So, if anything, I feel better than ever. If I ever get diarrhea, it's because they probably done something to it, like put nitrates on it or some shit. From plants.
Like this whole diet is a crazy, insane cult built upon half of it promoting junk food. And then on top of it, they're anti-vegetable. They hate vegetables. The data we have on
Promoting junk food? What junk food?
fiber, the data we have on vegetables is phenomenal.
They're not anti-anything. They simply are telling you what's inside these plants, what can cause you problems. And they start causing you problems at a certain age or whatever. They start causing people problems. And so they've eliminated the problem. Blaha's really out to lunch. The majority of people, the younger people right now, they're still eating everything. And so he says, well, these people, they came out with this carnivore diet. No, that's not what happened. They eliminated these things because they started causing them problems. And the moment they started causing them problems, these so-called vegetables filled with oxalates and whatever, cyanide and arsenic and shit and all that, the moment they eliminated these toxic vegetables and these, the fructose, which was causing them mitochondrial dysfunction, the moment they eliminated them, they became better. That's about it. So I don't really know what Blaha's talking about. Are you going to stop people from eating processed food, pizza, and I don't know, vegetables and fruit? No, they're still going to eat it. When I go to the market, I don't eat that. Okay, I've eliminated that. But people are still eating it. The only time they're going to stop eating it, you want to know when they're going to stop eating it? When it fucks with them. That's when. They're going to stop eating that shit when it starts destroying them. Do you understand me, dude? But until then, they're going to keep eating it.
The health benefits, lowering cancer risk, lowering cardiovascular disease. In fact, I would go so far as to say this is why some people who still do serious keto diets full of tons of meat still have good calcium scores. They still have good health markers. Do you know why? Because of the antioxidant.
You want to know why? Because your body is keeping you alive. That's why. Until it doesn't have to anymore. And so you start getting sick eating these foods, and then you're like, well, it's time to eliminate.
There's another stuff in all the vegetables they eat with it is cardioprotective. It's cardioprotective.
He's lying. He's making that up. It is not cardioprotective. It's bullshit. He's making that shit up.
Against sometimes the extra LDL they're getting from the stearic acid and stuff in the red meat.
How could it be cardioprotective if people start developing problems as they get older? Why are older people developing problems eating these stupid vegetables? Because they're toxic, that's why. And your body is no longer protecting you anymore like it did when you were younger.
It's cardioprotective.
He's stupid. Again, if it was cardioprotective, then they wouldn't fucking eliminate it out of their diet. You understand me? If that was true. He's making that shit up.
That's why a lot of people who do those diets are still perfectly healthy with really good blood work. They're eating all those vegetables to go with it.
They're not. He's lying. Listen, your body will protect you to a certain point until it can't protect you anymore. That's all.
I mean, and if you're doing steak, eggs, and tons of vegetables, avocados, broccoli, you'll probably be okay.
Yeah, that's what's really protecting you because you're still eating eggs, steak, and whatever. And these things are protecting you from those things which are fucking destroying you.
Okay. In fact, that's way better than any sort of standard American or Western diet by a pretty large margin, right?
But guess what? When you eliminate the steak and the eggs and you keep eating that broccoli and other shit, guess what's going to happen? Vegan compilation. You're going to be part of the vegan compilation, bro. Yeah.
I think that's perfectly healthy. But when you pull all the vegetables out and you start replacing it with butter or bacon, it is a death sentence. You're losing all the carbs.
Wait. So when you take out the vegetables, these toxic vegetables and other things, and you replace them with bacon and meat and whatever, and eggs and whatever, that's a bad thing? What?
Your protective benefits, all these other health benefits, all this amazing stuff for your gut flora.
What protective benefits? What gut flora? What are you talking about? They're not responsible for any of these things. He's making that shit up.
And you're replacing it with refined garbage that in study after study cause heart disease, cancer, diabetes, all these other things. There are links to it repeatedly.
Yes, there are links to people eating vegetables and fruits and shit that are linked to cancers and all the rest of these diseases. Yes, Blaha. But there are no links to people eating carnivore meat, eating meat and getting sick. Okay? Natural organs and meat, natural animals, and ever getting sick, eating a natural animal and its organs and shit, and it's drinking its blood.
It's a diet for insane people. All right, guys, but that's really all I
see. It's a diet for insane people. So, God, we must have been insane for hundreds of thousands of years, hunting and eating natural animals and killing them. Not farming them and farming vegetables and everything. Christ. Give me a break.
have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals.
He's the most unnatural animal on this planet. Look at his shitty squat. Concentric. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, friends.